Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about compound interest. We'll start with just a basic definition of what compound interest is. We'll look at how compound interest is different than simple interest, and then we'll look at why compound interest is important. A basic definition of compound interest is when your investment returns are earning interest in addition to your initial investment. For investments, interest is the rate of return your investment is expected to grow. For loans, such as credit cards, interest is the percentage of the loan balance paid to the lender periodically for the privilege of using their money. All right, so let's look through this example. In year one, we have a principal amount of $15. It earns interest in the amount of $1 for a total of $16 at the end of year one. For year two, we now have a principal amount of $16 to start with. Because we have some of that interest included with the principal, it earns more interest than the year before it. So we have $16 of principal, $2 of interest for a total of $18 at the end of year two. And this continues on each year as the interest continues to compound with the principal to grow over time. In contrast, let's look at an example of simple interest. With simple interest, the money that's earned for each period is withdrawn rather than that amount being reinvested. Here's an example. Let's say we start with an amount of $2,000 and it's earning an interest rate of 7%. After 25 years, we'll end up with $5,500. Our original principal amount is $2,000. We've earned interest in the amount of $3,500 for a total of $5,500 at the end of a 25-year period. Now let's look at that same example using compound interest. We start with an initial deposit of $2,000. We don't add anything to it annually. It grows for a period of 25 years at a rate of return of 7% annually. The only difference being that in this example, we're reinvesting the interest. At the end of the 25 years, we end up with a balance of $10,855. $2,000 of that is the original principal, and $8,855 is the interest that is accumulated. Compare that to the $3,500 of interest that grew in the simple interest calculation. So why is compound interest important? Compounding becomes very powerful over long periods of time. If anyone's told you to start saving early, that's due to the power of compound interest. And if you're able to add extra each year, those investments are able to benefit from compounding as well. And that power can work against you when we're talking about interest on money that you owe, especially at high rates, such as those found with most credit cards. Just like this quote from Albert Einstein says, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it." Now let's look at an example. If you, in addition to making the initial deposit of $2,000, you were also able to make $2,000 annual contributions for the 25 years. At 7%, that would be a total contribution amount of $52,000 over 25 years. But your total balance would be $146,208. $94,208 of that is interest, so almost 2/3 of your total investment was due to compound interest.